what we're looking at down here is the Thermaltake BlacX. And it doesn't look like anything much, it's just a box, right? This is going to allow you to dock an eSATA hard drive without having to use an enclosure. It's hot swappable with both eSATA as well as USB 2.0. So let me just demonstrate real quick what we can do with this device. I've got a eSATA hard drive right here. Some people will call it SATA. If you've ever heard the word SATA, I prefer to actually call it SATA or serial ATA because that's what it is. But all we need to do to dock this hard drive to our computer is just pop that drive in, and it clicks right in. It's got a nice little ejection button to pop the drive out. So I'm going to demonstrate how this actually works. Nice thing about this is I can simply dock that drive without having to turn off my computer, and it's safe, it's effective, and with the eSATA port, it runs just as fast as if the drive was actually physically inside your computer. We're talking about 3 gigabytes a second, gigabits per second, with the eSATA port. With USB 2.0, we're only going to get 480 megabits, but it's very convenient. It's nice to be able to take this. I was using it the other day. I had plugged it into the eSATA port on my computer, my desktop, and copied a bunch of files over to the hard drive, and then take the USB 2.0 cable and plug it into my laptop, which doesn't support eSATA. So it gives us the ability to use this dock with systems that don't actually support eSATA. So the back features basically, it's very, very basic interface, just a power switch here, as well as the, the power input. It comes with an AC adapter, USB 2.0, and eSATA. This device, they do not say that that it works on Linux. I'm just going to demonstrate tonight, because I'm using Linux on my desktop, that it does in fact work on Linux. I don't know if they just don't support Linux, or if they don't, if they just didn't have anyone to test it. In the manual it says that it works in Mac and Windows, but because your computer basically thinks that it's just an external hard drive, it works. And I'll tell you how I got it to work. But so basically, I'm just going to take this drive here, or this unit here, the BlacX, and boom, boom. I've got the cables and everything set up right here. So I'm just going to plug in the power cable, plug in the eSATA cable, just like that. Done. And set that down. Now I'm going to take a hard drive, and you should note as well. Now I'm doing this. I'm grounded here at my workstation. This is not something where you want to take a hard drive and throw it in your backpack. That's not what we're promoting here, and that's not what this product is for. What this product is for is ease of use, convenience for people who constantly swap hard drives, things like that. If you want to run a really good backup to just an SATA hard drive without having to buy an SATA hard drive enclosure, that's something that you can do with this unit. So just keep in mind that you do want to ground yourself. You don't want to grab the hard drive in unsafe ways. This is a very sensitive piece of equipment, so you don't want to damage it and you don't want to shock it. Let's just demonstrate the way that this works in Linux. I'm just going to pop the drive into the drive bay, and it just snaps right in. And I should note as well that this supports both 3.5-inch as well as 2.5-inch drives. And now we do that from a powered off state. Make sure that the unit is not turned on at this time. And now we're just going to hit that power switch and allow this to fire up. So once I've done that, you can see a little blue light down here. It's activating that device. So now, pretty much instantly on my Ubuntu system, I can go up here to Places, and I see a 320.1 gigabyte media. So I click on that, and it doesn't seem to do anything. What it's actually done there is mounted that drive. So now the next time that I click on it, it's going to bring up the actual drive. So this is connecting to the through eSATA to this hard drive at the base of my monitor here. So now let's just grab a file here just to demonstrate kind of the the beauty and speed. Probably the best thing to do, because I'd want to use a large file, is grab one of those DVD ISOs that we're promoting for Category 5. Let's just grab one of those. Okay, I'm going to grab the NTSC file, which is 3.4 gigabytes of disk number 3, and zoom in here, and I'm just going to paste that onto that hard drive. Oh. There's not enough space for it. Look at that, eh? What a guy. I've got my 320 gig hard drive pretty much filled right up. I do too, 278.4. Okay, you know what? I've got another drive. So here's a good example of why you'd want to hot swap. So I'm just going to close out of that, and remember that in Linux you want to, any operating system, absolutely you want to unmount this drive. You don't just disconnect it, because there could be write operations taking place right now. You don't want to risk it. So just to be safe, let's just clean up my desktop so that I can find the icon. It's put the icon on my desktop. I right click on that and go unmount volume. Okay, and that's already done. So now, next step is turn off the power. Do not eject the drive while it's powered on. It's spinning at 7,200 RPM. 7,200 rotations per minute. Do not touch that drive until it's powered down. Once that's done, and it only takes a split second for it to power down, you can tell just from the vibration or lack thereof. Now just hold the drive steady, hit the eject button, and now we've got that out of our system. So now grab that, let's see, here's another hard drive that I've got here. I'm just going to mount that in, and boom. It clicks right in. You can tell when it's in. Beautiful. And now mount that to my system. So same thing, I'm just clicking on, let's see here, I'll jump over so that you can actually see how reliable this is. I'm clicking on places. Oh, see how that disappeared? It's because it detected the new drive. There it is, 400.1 gigabytes. So now I click on that, and boom, there it is. It's mounted to my system. So I click on it again, and again, now it's brought up on my screen. So this is just my backup drive here. So it's got a little bit more space with 44 gigs, so I'm just going to drop a temporary folder on here and jump over to my system. Let's grab that the DVD ISO again. Okay, there we go. And I'm just strictly going to copy this. So what I'm doing here is copying it from my internal hard drive, which is a 3.0 gigabyte 3 gigabit per second hard drive. See how I'm getting tongue-tied with all the numbers, eh? It's an eSATA hard drive as well. So you can see that this is just a motoring along, transferring externally, moving at 35, 37 megabytes per second, just screaming along with 3.4 gigabytes. It's beautiful. I'm used to dealing with external USB 2.0 drives, so this is just screaming. It's unbelievable. And you can see here, I don't know if you can see it on this camera or not, but this LED down here is actually changing between blue and red to indicate that it is in use at this time. But yeah, we're moving at almost 40 megabytes per second. We've only got 40 seconds left to that 3.5 gig file. We're rating it with an 8 out of 10. It's a fabulous product, something that I would definitely recommend. That if you think that this is going to be a helpful device for you, it works really, really well. It's pretty much out of the box for any operating system. And I'll just describe a little bit about how I was able to get it to work in Linux. It was a little different because of my BIOS, I believe. So what I actually had to do was basically turn off my computer, hook this device up, put a hard drive in it, turn it on, and then turn on my computer. My BIOS then detected that there was an SATA hard drive on the eSATA port, and then Ubuntu, detecting that that was available, then installed the modules that were necessary in order to load that drive. So then, from then on, it's hot swappable. But if you just fire this device up out of the box while Ubuntu is running, you're not going to have those modules loaded, so it's not going to be able to detect that hard drive. It's just going to sit there. So make sure you turn off your computer, turn off this unit, the BlacX, and put your hard drive in, turn it on, turn on your computer. Ubuntu's going to boot up, it's going to detect it, it's going to add it to your Places menu, and then you can mount it, dismount it, and then try swapping different drives. From then on, of course, you don't have to have it turned on at boot. It was just the first time that you have to do that. It's not horribly heavy, and I don't have a scale on my desk at this time. Let's take a look. What I should mention is that they have counterweighted the bottom of the device. So you can tell that there's a little bit of weight there, and what that's for is so that when your drive spins up at 7,200 RPM, it's not going to go flip and flip off of your desk. It's weighted enough that it sits nice and solid. It doesn't move. It's got like a traction thingies. Is that what they're called? It's got traction on the bottom, so it's not going to move when that drive starts spinning. But it's weighted enough that if you're getting it shipped, to the UK, it's going to cost you a little bit more because of the weight. But it's not horribly weighted. Pads. Thank you, Aiden. Non-slip pads. Sweet. So again, 8 out of 10. Give it a look, and that's the BlacX from Thermaltake.